Hey guys. Hey everyone. Oh, good. Hey guys. Everything's fine. Don't worry. I didn't just lose $6,000 on the stock market today when two people started tweeting mean things back and forth at each other. What is going on, dude? Okay? Like, I don't understand. Well, I do understand actually. Obviously we're going to talk about the this perfect magic moment where we had these two guys come together and they're like, we're going to fix the world. Okay, we're going to fix the world together. And fast forward 3 months and they're like, we are now absolute bitter arch enemies. I'm like, geez, that escalated very, very quickly. This went from 0 to 1,000 real fast. It's like this is okay. I have so many things going through my head right now that I just want to kind of like try to stay on topic and not like say anything that's going to take me down this way. I want to say the following, okay? When you have a conflict with a person, okay, a regular person who is thinking about the long-term effects of this, it's like you want to escalate incrementally, because at the end of the day there is no money in enemies, right? There is money in being friends with people, right? Generally speaking. Okay, obviously that is not always the case, but there is much more money to be made if you are have a good relationship with someone. Okay, as soon as you tweet out Trump is in the Epstein files, okay, there is no coming back from this. All right, like there's no like, hey, we're gonna be friends again, everything's cool. Just kidding about that whole, the reason they're not releasing the Epstein files is because Trump is in them. Like you can't walk that back, dude. So I honestly don't understand in what world. Like, Elon, I know you're insanely wealthy. Trump's the president of the United States. Have you not been paying attention to what kind of power he has? Have you not been paying attention? Is that really an enemy that you want? Like, you have the entire Democratic operation working to destroy your life. Okay? Like, you have I figure we can all acknowledge that there was nothing organic about these psychos going out and like, burning cars and stuff. Hey, if you own a Tesla, you better be pretty afraid because someone's going to get you. They're going to get you. Right? Now, the reason why I would have felt totally comfortable if I was Elon is that, well, I'm friends with the president. So it's like, I helped him get elected. I have the most powerful buddy over here in the world. We get into a spat over this new bill, and you're just going to burn that bridge into the ground? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. That is such a bizarre miscalculation on his part, in my opinion. Like, I don't understand why. Like, now, do I believe that it's true? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea about it. I have given up on feeling like I have any information that I can rely on if it's coming from other people through mass, Elon says that Trump's in the Epstein files. Like, he would know better than me, but he's also off his rocker and he's super mad. So maybe he'd make that up. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I don't know. What I do know, what I know for goddamn sure, is that Trump has never backed down to anyone. Okay. That guy is incapable of taking backwards steps. Okay. He's never going to take a back step. So if you attack him like that, all you're doing is putting yourself onto a list where he's like, all right, okay, guy, Don't worry. I won't forget. You know, like, and what are you trying to accomplish? Like, what is Elon trying to accomplish by taking it to this? You know, I don't like. Again, I talk about like the game of human chess all the time, dude, all the time. And it's like, I have learned to be very cognizant of where, if I choose this road, where does it go? And I'm good at not taking that road, even if I want to. If I'm real mad, it's like, I know that that's a bad road to take. So I'm not going to do the thing that's going to take me down that road. It's like, I mean, I guess Elon can like switch around the algorithm and, you know, promote a bunch of anti-Trump shit. I actually expect him to do that now. You know, I expect that to happen. So, I mean, I think we've established a few things previously in the last however long with both these guys. If Elon decides that he wants to use X, which is his, in this way, that way, or the other, he's going to. So if he's mad enough to say a thing like Trump's on the Epstein files, something tells me he's certainly mad enough to start tweaking the algorithm to where, you know, positive information about Trump goes and negative information goes and you're just going to start seeing a lot of stuff that's going to be real negative on Trump. I don't really know like why he would do that other than like a petty, you know, kind of like a petty beef. But like, you know what? Let me ask you guys this. Here is what I understand about how we got here. Okay. Elon does Doge. He goes through months and months of what seems to be painstaking hard work to uncover all of this fraud, waste, and abuse inside of the government and cut spending because it needs to happen, because otherwise we're like driving off a financial cliff. And then Trump does the big, beautiful bill, which is this gigantic spending bill. And Elon's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, what were we doing with Doge? Now, I always have said that Doge was a brilliant way to cloak the fact that what you're doing is you're going and rooting out all of these people who had been, you know, in the government previous, and like you have access to all their emails, you have access to all of their chats. Okay, so these people who are like these psychotic anti-Trumpers, just root them out. You're all, you know, you run like a pretty, probably not a very challenging thing to run, to like go through emails and look for certain phrases and be like, okay, that person is an anti-Trump psycho, just get rid of all of them. Because you can't trust to have them, you can't trust having them in the government without, you know, assuming that they're probably going to try to undermine the administration. Okay, it's like, all right, cool. Like, but also cut costs for whatever. And then Trump comes in, he's like, hey, we got this big, beautiful bill, and we're gonna spend this. And you know, and Elon's like, what do you like? What the fuck are we doing? Right. So he is critical of the bill. Trump is like, I don't know why he's doing this. Trump gives him like, you know, a key to the government, whatever, everything's on good terms, kind of like, all right, you know, you did your thing, you're rolling back your thing. Thank you very much. And then I think maybe Trump says something like, I don't know what's happening. Elon's gone crazy. And somehow we get to this. Trump's in the fucking Epstein files per Elon. What's up, Dubs? How are you, sir? Appreciate the super chat, my dude. Like, this is like, I feel like people don't understand how bad this is. This is bad, guys. This is real bad. This is not like, you know, Sideshow Bob weird. This is definitely not this is definitely 100,000,000,000% not an intentional red herring. Like, if what you're saying is that like Trump and Elon are in on this and they're intentionally distracting over here because of this, that is 1,000% incorrect. There's no possible way in a billion years that is accurate. Okay. There's no way Trump is signing off on, hey, man, hey, just imply that with your insider information that you know that I am in the Epstein files and am a potential abuser of women and children. Like, that's not a thing. Look into the Appleby law firm, Elon Epstein connection. I will, but Everyone was connected to Epstein one way or another. That's what the guy did. Like everybody has like this one to this one to this one to Epstein. I don't care about any of that. I want to know who's on the island touching kids, dude. Okay. Who was with Epstein, like touching children? I also don't even care, to be perfectly honest with you, if Epstein threw a party that had a bunch of grown-up models there and someone goes there and one of these models had sex with this person. I don't care about that. I don't care even a little bit about that. I care about kids, dude. Okay. I want to know about people who were either, living out violent fantasies against women that were hurting girls or were, touching kids. Okay. We've established Epstein's the devil. Okay. Period. What I care about with people who are connected to Epstein is that I don't care if they were cheating on their wives. Candidly, I don't care. I want to know about guys touching kids, and I want to know about them being violent with women. That's it. Or like, participating in anything that would have contributed to that knowingly, Mr. Shroom Kid, what's up, dude? Think it's all bullshit. Look at Trump's record with Epstein. He even kicked him out of his property once he disconnected him from. Yeah, no, that is exactly. Yeah, for the record, what I've always heard about this is that they both lived in Palm Beach, or, the Palm Beach area where Mar-a-Lago is, that they were acquaintances, maybe even friends. I don't know. Epstein was buddies with everybody. But then what I had heard was that Epstein had an incident where he went after like a teenage girl at Mar-a-Lago, and Trump banished him from Mar-a-Lago forever, and they had no contact since then, is what I've understood about that. Do I have any ability to verify that? I do not. But that is what I've always heard to have been true. If Trump were on the list, they would have needed to invent Russiagate. They wouldn't have needed to invent Russiagate in the. That's an excellent fucking point, Infected Mushroom. Dude, look at you paying me to have the best insight of the entire stream. MVP. Infected Mushroom, Third Eye. MVP. That is an exceptional point, dude. Really, really excellent. I'm serious. I'm being totally serious. That's really, really fucking smart, dude. If they had real shit on Trump, why would they have had to fake it? You're right. Trump threatened to take away Elon's government contracts. You're right. You're right. You're right. That's not what started it, but you're right. You're right. You are 100% right. I forgot about that. Ronnie, MVP, second place. You're right. That's my fault, though. I forgot about that. So, as the beef escalated, okay, this thing escalates, and then Trump maybe we'll just take away his government contracts, which was not a real threat at the time. It's just Trump doing what Trump does, which is not taking back steps. And then Elon comes over the top of that with, hey, he's on the Epstein files. And it's like, and I'm going to tell you right now, I sold my Tesla stock right then, immediately, all of it. I sold it all. Okay. I sold it all because I'm like, I am not going to have as much money as I had in Tesla that hinges on the whims of one person who does not like the CEO of that company and who has a bulletproof track record of getting revenge. It's like, nope. And honestly, half the reason I had bought in as heavy as I did is because I'm like, there's no way that he's going to end up, out of office before hooking Elon up with some enormous, massive government contract. That was literally one of the reasons I bought it. But now I'm out. And I lost a lot of fucking money on it too. But, dude, you guys, of course, that's nothing new, David Cohen. You guys always make me look smart, man. Dude, but like, let me just dig into the chat real quick and see if anybody else is dropping any fucking gold in there. Because, hold on. So, Trump's Russia collusion has caused someone Russia regain peace. Yeah, this is, I'm with this. I'm with this, dude. Because one thing that we know for sure is that Clinton and Epstein, okay, that's not up for debate. Clinton and Epstein were, thick as thieves, okay? He was on the plane 27 times. Whether Epstein had dirt on Clinton, which it looks like he did if you have a brain and know how to interpret that painting and just common sense, right? Okay, well, who is Trump's number one enemy after 2016? Hillary Clinton, okay? So if he had dirt on him, that shit's coming out. That shit's coming out, is my hypothesis. So it's like, hold on. Oh, sorry, this thing is acting kind of weird. All right, but like, this trait in both of those guys is not a trait I respect at all. I just want to be clear about that. Like I have a tidal wave of respect for both these guys, but this particular personality trait I do not respect, dude. The inability to like take a pause and think, like fucking think, dude. Just stop for a second, okay? Elon is the wealthiest person in the world, and he owns X. He can hurt you, Trump. Like he can hurt you bad. This is not an enemy that you want at all. He's not an enemy anyone wants. And you certainly don't want him as an enemy with a fucking grudge. And if you're Elon, are you serious? Trump's the last person on earth you want as an enemy, especially right now. Right? Like it is Trump's personality trait that he is incapable of accepting loss, which is why he's in the White House right now. Like, why would you escalate with him, dude? Like, this is what I'm saying. Okay, what is this? Like, I'm going to use this situation as like a way of explaining the way that I approach situations like this. Okay, what are they actually arguing over? Okay, like what's the source of this? Okay, Elon feels like he just did all of this stuff to trim the budget, and then Trump immediately comes in with this gigantic bill where he's he's spending lots of money without getting into the weeds, spending lots of money. Now, I do think it is possible. I considered this before this went to here, that maybe Elon was expecting some kind of gigantic like piece of whatever bill came out and he didn't get it, and so maybe he's like, you fucked me, maybe, or maybe it's just that he is spending lots of money and Elon's like, what were we doing with Doge, right? In either situation, okay, if Elon wants to say like, look, I'm going to be honest, I obviously am a staunch supporter of the Trump administration and I'm a staunch, I'm a friend of Donald Trump, but I got to be honest, I don't really know what to make of this bill, given that we just spent months, in what I considered to be an absolutely critical move to trim all of this waste out of the government. Now we're just going to turn around and immediately spend tons of money on all of this stuff. Like I don't understand the logic. I obviously was not in the room discussing any of this. Candidly, for me to sign off on this personally, I mean, they don't need my sign off, but I would like to see what's in it and understand exactly what we're getting for it. Because the reason I did Doge is because I see the United States driving off of a fucking cliff financially. So like, it doesn't matter what's in the bill. We can't afford it. Like we can't afford this. So this is incredibly reckless, but I would like to at least speak to Donald because I trust his judgment and I trust the administration, whatever. If you want to voice your concerns, you do it like that. And then you go have a conversation with them. Okay. And if you're Trump, it's like, okay, I can understand if you go at it like that. If you're Trump, you're like, yeah, I can certainly understand where he's coming from on that. And you pick up the fucking phone and then you guys talk on a cell phone, like you talk on a phone. Like there is no world in that situation where I would escalate, no matter what, in either of their situations. And I can tell you that unequivocally. There is no question about that. I would not escalate, period. Because what happens is exactly what happened. Okay. Like this is another like perfect example that I could give you of like how human beings in these roles, this particular trait leads to catastrophic outcomes. Okay. How do you think that you end up in a thermonuclear war? Okay. Like everyone knows what thermonuclear war means. And we've actually come super fucking close to that happening before. Why? It's because small escalations compound on top of each other because no one is willing to like go, whoa, scale it back. And then like strategy is what I respect. Okay. Like there's always a way for you to approach a situation to try to drive the outcome that you want without looking like a bitch while simultaneously de-escalating. The ability to de-escalate without looking like a pussy, that's probably the trait that I respect more than any other, because it demonstrates actual confidence, like real confidence. You're like, you have to know, like no one's ever gonna look at me and what I'm doing and think, wow, what a pussy. Okay, like that's taken off the top as a baseline. Obviously, no one will ever think of me as a pussy because I'm so clearly not that I don't need to play the game of escalation just because we're getting mad at each other. You know, this right here looks like emotions out of control. Like this is just an emotional thing. You know, it's like I'm embarrassed. I'm fucking embarrassed that these guys would have let this get to this point. You know, mostly Elon though, dude. Mostly Elon. You know, because like Trump, if you've been watching Trump for as many years as you have, and by the way, I'll get to you guys super chats in a second. You already know, dude, that like if you go hard at Trump, he's going to say a thing like, oh, maybe we'll just pull those government contracts. He doesn't mean it. Okay. Like he doesn't actually mean it. It's just what he does. It's how he talks. Okay. Now he's never going to take a back step, but he's also not necessarily going to he's not going to escalate with a friend publicly, you know, like to a level of we can't reverse this. That's not what he was doing there, where it's like, hey, maybe we'll just pull his, you know, maybe we need to look at pulling his pulling his whatever. Is like, that's if you speak Trump, which everyone by now should speak Trump, that's not a real threat. Unless you make it one by doing this. If you're fucking Musk, dude. Like you understand how there's never been a president that has more power than Trump right now. Never. Never. At least not in the not while I've been paying attention, you know. Like I started paying attention. I'm not even going to say because it'll make me sound 1,000 years old, but I started paying attention a long time ago. And like there has never been a president that has consolidated power the way that Trump has. And this is catastrophic for that too. Like this right here, this moment right here, Trump's consolidated power. This is a big crack in that foundation, dude. And candidly, if you've been watching the same movie I have for the last however many years, we need somebody with consolidated power. That's really fucking important because nothing ever gets done. Or what it does when you have all of this, highly delineated power, that's distributed through all these things, is it gives the bad guys a million ways to weasel their way into the process and poison it. Because in many cases, all they need to do is make sure nothing changes. Okay, like they've had 100 years to set the entire system up in ways where they benefit at our expense. Okay, like we're at a point where you need someone that can get shit done to unwind all the ways they're fucking us, dude. Okay. The thing with the pharmaceutical, actually, hold on. Let me do these super chats real quick and I'll come back to this. She don't come out until people die. Shake my fucking shit. Don't come out until people die. I don't understand. I apologize, dude. I might have taken too long and I apologize for that. I'm not sure exactly what you're referencing. Daniel Bridges, what's up, dude? Thank you for super chat. Very generous. I don't believe it. The libs would have massacred Trump with that info. Respect to Jesse and Dubs as well, since he is in the chat. Thank you very much, dude. I don't believe it either. For that exact reason. 100%. Okay. Because if you think that Epstein was not a part of that machine, which aimed all of its energy in the direction of Trump, you're wrong. He absolutely was. Or maybe is, you know what I mean? Maybe is. Okay. They demonstrated they were willing to do anything to hurt Trump. Anything, in my opinion, including raiding Diddy's homes so that they can pull whatever material he has, because he's not, like, I was thinking about this today. I am very, very much convinced that they did lean on Usher, J-Lo, some of these other, musicians, Snoop Dogg, these ones who had said I'm sitting this one out. And all of a sudden they're like, if you vote for Trump, you're a racist. You're a piece of shit. You're a racist. And it's like, you just said a week ago that you love Trump, Snoop. You said he pardoned Harry O because you asked him to. Now anyone who votes for him is a racist. Like, unless Snoop got, fitted with a straitjacket in between those two statements, someone leaned on him. And geez, I don't know what what could they have had on him? Oh, fucking Puffy's got Puffy got his place raided however long ago. It's like these people lean on people. That's what they do. And the same people, you're telling me if they had a tape with Trump on it or some kind of anything in the files where Trump is dirty with Epstein, you're telling me they wouldn't have played that card? Yeah, right, dude. He's running for office. And the FBI had it. You guys know the FBI at the time, during the Biden administration, whoever had the Epstein files, you think they were trying to get Trump to win? Like, they took a shot at him. They took two shots at him, in my opinion. They ran every smear campaign on earth. If that existed, why would they have not have used it? I mean, there's no way I'm going to know. Anyone's going to know for sure. But that doesn't make any logical sense to me. It's like the same thing as when, I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, so actually, I'm sorry, hang on. I guess all the rumors about Elon being on drugs is true. Only someone on drugs would flip the script that quick on someone they called a friend. Probably, dude. And thank you for being a member for that long, dude. I appreciate you very much, my dude. It's ego. It's you saw Elon flipped out on those people over that visa issue very quickly. Like if people disagree with him on something that's like a big deal to him, he flashes on him. Anyway, it's not here nor there. Let me go back to what I was saying about damn it. What was the point? Help me. What was hang on, there's something really important that I was on. That's why I always try not to I try to wait on the chats because I know I'm going to lose my train of thought if I go there. Oh man. I'm going to get there though. I'm actually tracking it down. It was man. Fuck, I think I lost it, dude. I lost it. This podcaster is a beer a cholik. I am extraordinarily confused by that. Elon has to drop receipts too, or this is treason. Oh, okay. I know what I was talking about. Okay. So what I was saying is the power that Trump consolidated, right, was very much reliant. Like so much of what we had yesterday was due to the alliance between Trump and Elon, because Elon's approach to X, buying Twitter and kind of unlocking that door so that people can share information, everyone knowing that there is at least a platform that's on Trump's side. Now, given that's changed now, okay, Dana White's on the board of Meta, okay, Zuckerberg started doing jujitsu, in my opinion, probably some consultant was like, hey, we really need to help your image, dude. So we're going to kind of give you a little makeover. Like, we want you to maybe start doing martial arts, and then we'll get you on Rogan, and maybe, curry some favor with them. And what they didn't realize is that what they believe our group to be is not at all what we actually are. And so he came in under false pretenses and we sucked him in, and then we made him one of us for real. So now we've got Meta. We've got Meta because Dana White is on the board. They're not doing Pride Month, all of that stuff. But man, this Elon thing is really bad, really fucking bad. Now, I don't think that there's any world where these people, now don't quote me on this though. Okay. I don't know what level or these, and I'm not really sure how these people think in terms of alliances, and then the enemy of my enemy is my friend and all that stuff, because it's these guys that went after Elon so hard with all of this money to fund these protests against Tesla and people going out and attacking Teslas, and they make it the people in the Bay Area who were driving, Tesla was the fucking rich liberal car, and now all of them they're like, I need to get rid of this, or I need to put a sticker on it that's fuck Elon, that's really what it's like now. They're people I know well in the Bay Area who are Democrats. I mean, moderates. They're not they're moderate Democrats, but nonetheless, I'm like, don't you own a Tesla? And they're like, no, I didn't buy it. Thank God. They said it like that. I'm like, thank God. They're like, oh my God, these people are running scared. But so all of these people over here who are staunch arch enemies of Trump, right? And then Elon became an arch enemy of theirs because, they probably, they had whatever before, but their primary reason, I think, is because he put his arm around Trump, and then together they took over the White House. And I don't know what kind of things can happen behind the scenes now. I can't imagine Gates and Elon doing anything, but there's a lot of other very powerful, blue kind of, I don't know, organizations, NGOs, and these fucking think tanks, and all these, there's so much money over there that's against Trump. And then if Elon and him are really at each other's necks, and then these guys make friends, and hey, we obviously don't like each other, but let's together do blah, blah, blah. It's this is all bad, dude. It is all bad. There's nothing good about this, man. I mean, I don't know, dude. The whole thing about like Elon never stopped being a lefty is like this is a perfect. And I don't mean to pick on you at all. I just want to use this as to make a point. Is that this lefty righty thing is fucking stupid? Okay, like it's a stupid way to look at all of this because it's there is no well-defined left and right. Okay, if you ask AI, you know, hey, what are the core principles of the left? And then, hey, what are the core principles of the right? It's like, you know, it's like you listen to like my daughter did that in the car the other day. And it was like, okay, yeah, kind of. But there are like 100 things that someone could come out like, you know, everyone has their own kind of big issue. And this issue can have nothing to do with any of these things. You say it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that guy's on the far right. You're like, the far right. Really? The far right? Yes, the far right. Because I think that Leah Thomas shouldn't swim against, you know, the reason I bring that one up is because 95% of people think Leah Thomas should not be swimming against a girl. It's like all of them are right wing now. You know, everyone, like all the people in my family, well, 95% of the people in my family who consider themselves Democrats obviously are not retarded enough to think that Leah Thomas should be winning national championships and swimming against girls, you know? So it's like, I just think that at that level, at the level that we're talking about with Elon, the Democrat Republican thing does not apply, because essentially what they're doing is they're taking their money and they are putting it down these different these different channels, but really they're just trying to drive outcomes. And I'll give you an even better example of that. So the reason, in my opinion, that all of a sudden, right, starting in 2016-ish, that all of the things that like people who voted for Obama thought were important, suddenly it was the left that would like, you know, it's like, we need to get Obama in to make sure that this doesn't happen, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, in 2017, you're like, what the fuck? How come now all of a sudden it's the Democrats that are pushing this shit? Like, I remember specifically voting for Obama, like, we need to, like, no more of this intervention shit. Like, I don't want us going into wars and killing all these people for bullshit just for the military industrial. And now all of a sudden it's the left that's the ones that are driving this. The reason, in my opinion, is because Trump was the first candidate that won the presidency that was not controlled by, you know, these groups that normally run everything. And like, so all of a sudden, all of the donor class is on the left because they're against Trump, because Trump consolidated power in the Republican Party, because any of these old school kind of rhino conservatives who were left in Congress and spoke out against Trump, he just pointed at them and he's like, they're one of the bad guys, and they couldn't win the election, so they're gone. So they all got. And so it was like you had Trump and then Trumpers. So, you know, the way that they exert power through the government is they give money to Congress people and through think tanks and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you need Congress people to vote or to run these, to run these committees and all that stuff. And if you don't have anybody on one side, you have to run all your money through the left. And that's how they all got pushed over to the left. So does that mean that like the Koch brothers are fucking Democrats? Okay, like all of a sudden the Koch brothers are gigantic donors to the left when they've always been this, you know, boogeyman on the right? No, it's because they lost all of the old school corrupt conservatives that have been taken. Well, I don't even know if you even call them corrupt. They're just the ones who they've been. It's like the way the system worked. They're the ones who've been taking their money and then pushing their agenda. So it's like Elon is on those guys' levels. Like, it's not like Democrat, Republican. It's like, it doesn't even apply. Like, Democrat, Republican is a trick that they play on the population to make us fight with each other, you know? But man, it's just like, I don't know. This is bad, dude. These guys, I mean, and what I was going to say too is like, they should fucking kiss and make up, dude. But not now, not after this. Dylan, what's up, dude? Thank you for the super chat. Epstein is also on tape saying Trump was his best friend of a decade and Trump was on his flight log 7 times. I think both sides are implicated in the files. Where are you getting that information from? That sounds definitely made up. Let's see. Okay. Trump, Epstein flight logs. Michael Wolff show. Okay, so this is Daily Beast. This is from the Daily Beast. Says explosive tapes recorded by author Michael Wolff show Epstein claiming Trump liked to F his friends' wives and first slept with Melania on the Lolita. Okay, it's in the Daily Beast. Like, the Daily Beast is like equivalent to, I can't even think of something as okay, so hang on. Epstein spoken like Trump. Wait, Michael Wolff is saying that he interviewed Epstein about Trump? Asked by Wolff, how would you know all this? Epstein replied, I was Donald's closest friend for 10 years. Okay. So again, that's the dude who wrote Fire and Fury, which was a book that was literally 100% slander and smear Trump. Again, I don't have any idea about any of this. I've never even heard of any of this, but I have never once heard that Trump was in the flight logs ever. And that's the kind of thing I would assume. Wait, hang on. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. All right, Trump. We'll get to the bottom. Nope, Trump not on the flight logs. Okay, so Trump not on the flight logs. But what you said is not just like outright fake news. Like that was, but it came from the Daily Beast. I don't know. I'll look into it again later. Okay, so Sandra, thank you for the super chat. Elon got a lot of hate, violence for helping the GOP. Then they are trying to pass a bill full of pork. Some of Congress did not read the bill before voting. Elon's no, I totally understand that. Like 100, I completely 100%. What I'm saying, I'm not like, I don't know if you just hopped on. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him taking issue with them, you know, with after him going through. It's not just that he went through hate and violence helping the GOP. It's that what he was doing specifically was running Doge, like running Doge, which is specifically meant to cut costs from government spending. And then now they're, you know, passing a bill that has a lot of government spending in it. And so he's like, I don't get it. I remember reading him saying like, I never even got to see this bill, whatever. And I remember thinking like, dude, he's probably pissed. What I'm saying is like, when you're operating at the level that these guys are at, there are going to be a million reasons that you're going to agree or disagree with things that people are doing. There's no way that someone worth $400 billion is going to like agree with every single thing that the government does. Like what I'm talking about is the tact with which they approach disagreements. Like why the fuck are they escalating to a point where Elon would burn the bridge permanently like this? This is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter how Elon feels. Doesn't matter what he thinks or is doing. What I'm saying is him putting that on the internet is a strategic, is a catastrophic misstep strategically on the level that I have not seen in a very long time. There's no defense for this. There's no 4D chess. This is a bad move that he did. It's just period. There's no way, given anything, that you want to make an enemy of Trump over a disagreement over government spending. Like burn the bridge to the ground. He burnt it to ash. Burnt the bridge to fucking ash. Because now, okay, like what I was saying about the ability to manage conflict and de-escalate while not looking like a pussy, right? Right? You guys remember I was just talking about this. Okay, that is a skill that I respect immensely, right? Is the ability to de-escalate without looking like you're being a bitch, okay? Because you can't look like you're being a bitch. And in many situations, whether you're president of the United States, a billionaire, fucking, you know, a podcaster where that's going to hurt your brand, right? You're in a 1% biker club, you're in prison, okay? Or you're a fighter. Like there's a million places where you can't look like a bitch. So the ability to like de-escalate problems without looking like a bitch is very, 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 like it's a great skill to have. That's one of the things I've talked about. Anthony Smith, very, you know, recently retired UFC fighter, one of my good buddies. He was exceptional at that, dude. Exceptional at that. This is one that, like, I would always watch when like someone would come at him in the press, because he never, you know, unless it benefited him, he was exceptional at deciding which beefs were going to benefit him And so he'd escalate them. And if they didn't, and he actually liked the guy, he would de-escalate, and he never, ever looked like a bitch, ever. You know, it's like an incredibly valuable skill set. Okay. Well, what Elon did is now he has, like, if Trump puts his arm around Elon ever again, he looks like a bitch, dude. And he's never going to do that. He's not going to do that. Like, Trump's the last person that in the history of humans that is going to ever look like a bitch in public. And so Elon has taken that ability away from Trump, dude. He can't de-escalate now. It cannot happen. He can't do it. Trump cannot be friends with Elon ever again because Elon put that stupid fucking tweet out. Okay, it's dumb. It's dumb. I'm not talking about the quality of the bill. I'm not talking about the job that he did at Doge. I don't know about any of these things, dude. Like, I'm not pretending to know. I know fucking people, and I know interaction, and I know, like, strategy. And I'm telling you, this was a horrific move. And it's irreversible. Okay? If Elon went on Rogan's show and did an entire 3-hour episode where the only purpose of him being there is to apologize to Trump, Trump still can't be friends with him after that. Okay? Any of you guys who have ever lived in a world like this where this kind, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys understand exactly what I'm saying. But, like, I'm not talking about friends, dude. Friends is not what I'm talking about at all. I'm not talking about fucking friends. I'm talking, I mean, you know, it's like friends, but we're not talking about, like, hey man, come get the kids over. I'm talking about strategic allies. Okay. There's, I mean, obviously, like, in my world, there's friends, in the world I was talking about with Anthony, sometimes friends, but, conflict inside of the combat sports business, that's fucking business. There's friendships and there's business. But this is allies. This is, like, critical strategy. And, like, again, no matter what Elon does, Trump will never put his arm around him ever again. So Trump is no longer a person Elon can go to for favors. And Trump might just get a hair up his ass to fucking burn him, dude. And he can. I don't understand. It's dumb. Choke dealer, what's up, dude? You changed your thing, dude. You are now, wait, let me see. Oh, setting up an arm bar from the bottom. I can't see it that well. Yeah. I can't tell if you're going to take, it looks like you're setting up an arm bar that's very small on my screen, but welcome back, dude. Elon was right about one thing when he said Trump would not have won if it wasn't for him. That's true. Elon, 100%. Elon buying Twitter was, you're 100% right. Absolutely 100% right. Correct. For sure. Elon buying Twitter. I've talked how many, I mean, you obviously watch my content. Me and you talk all the time, dude. Like, I have never even moderately fucking distanced from that. That's a fact. Elon buying Twitter was the most important thing that could have possibly happened to lead us to this moment that we have right now, aside from this shit that happened today, right? He won the culture war for us. He won the election for Trump, like, or at least was one of the massive contributors to that, right? I would still say Dana's was even bigger, but nonetheless, like, he was a huge contributor. But, like, that's not, like, that fact doesn't impact what I've said throughout the stream at all. It has nothing. Well, actually, it just makes it even stupider that he did. Like, the fact that that's true, that Trump owes him the way that he does, makes what he did even stupider. Because, like, does anybody, like, here's a good way to put this, dude. Does anybody think that Trump passing this bill, that he did it to intentionally, like, betray Elon? Of course not, dude. This wasn't done to, like, to go after Elon. I don't get into the fucking weeds on, like, oh, what's in the bill, what's not, whatever, unless it's going to impact, like, my kids. So, like, all I know is high level stuff on this. But what I can say pretty safely is that Trump did not intend for this to be any kind of attack on Elon. So Elon being like, he couldn't have gotten elected without me. It's like, yeah, that's true. That's why you have such a strong bond there where you can go to him for favors and help and stuff like that. And you can rely on him to come through because he owes you. And Dana, if you listen to Dana, well, I trust Dana when it comes to people. I trust Dana 1000%. Dana's like Trump is the most loyal person on earth. He's been loyal to me for 25 years. If you're his friend, he will always take care of you. You think that all of a sudden Trump got some personality transplant and he was like, oh, I'm going to turn around and fuck over Elon? Of course not. It wasn't directed at Elon, which again brings us back to Elon burning the bridge is just fucking stupid. Pace, if he was on the list, the left would have released it years ago. Trump was fighting to release it. Left was against it. I think Trump. Yeah, no, I agree with this. Wait, you think Trump and Elon are trolling? No. We are aligned on all of that except for the last part, dude. Okay, like I've talked about that enough on the stream. I don't need to get into it again. I agree with you 100%. If they had it, they would have released it. But they are not trolling. That is fucking zero. Negative 100,000, no chance. Absolutely no fucking chance that they would throw out to the world that Trump is on the Epstein files as a troll. 0%. No chance, dude. I disagree. Vance called Trump Hitler prior to becoming VP, and Trump forgave him and let him come in. Trump let some. That's different, dude. That's very, very, very different. Okay. I'll tell you why. Vance was not in his inner circle at the time. Okay. Like Vance was just a politician. I don't even know about him calling him Hitler or whatever, but let's just assume that that's true. So I'll operate from the perspective that he was one of the Republicans that was very anti-Trump. Fine. Okay. Well, saying a thing as an anonymous person who does not know Trump at all, right? Who doesn't actually know him and is like part of this, conglomeration of people who are like anti-Trump. Like you can forgive him for that because then you meet him, right? And then it's like, oh, now we've established a bond. Like we have like minds. We have the same, I don't know, like our agendas we have the same principles. You meet his kids, you meet each other's kids, and it's like, okay, now, and then the bond is like built strong. Okay. Once you're on the inside together, okay, and then you say a thing like that, that's fucking betrayal. Like what Vance did is not betraying him. That's just like gamesmanship or whatever. Like Bill Maher has talked nothing but shit about Trump forever. Trump had him to the White House, and then Bill Maher goes home kind of like, man, I don't know. I like that guy, Like Trump doesn't hold that against him. But having been on the inside together, like back to back, fighting against the level of enemy that these guys faced down together and won, like that's Fox whole bond, dude. And like, there's no two ways about it. It's like, that's my point. It's like arguing about the bill publicly, like saying you have an issue with the bill. That's not betrayal. That's just voicing your opinion, right? And then like Trump comes back like, hey, whatever. And like, none of this escalates to the point of this. Then Trump says, I mean, if Elon just keeps going at it, he's like, hey, maybe we should maybe we should look at taking away his government subsidies. He didn't actually take them away. He didn't actually take them away. It's just a thing he said. Elon saying Trump is on the Epstein files, that's a fucking thermonuclear bomb that cannot be repaired. It's he betrayed him, dude. Anyway, I'm depressed now. So I'm going to jump off, but I do love you guys. All of you. This is bad. For people who are on like whatever, I don't even know what team I'm on, but whatever team I'm on, most of you, I assume a lot of you are either on the team fully or like kind of like, this is a bad day for us, is my point, dude. It's a fucking bad day for us. There's nothing good about this. It's all bad. Elon, if he, I know he's like his brain is different than mine, than ours. Like he clearly, it's like, in the ways that probably matter most, he is much smarter than me, right? When it comes to interacting with people, not necessarily, like I could teach him a lot of things, dude. Being the richest guy in the world doesn't mean that you have all the answers in every single category. And this is a category where he lost his cool and it was a fucking terrible move, dude. And it's bad for all of us, dude. I spent this whole weekend talking to a bunch of people who were telling me all this bad shit about Elon. I defended him the whole time, and I still will. This is an emotional conflict between two people who should have never had a public conflict ever. And it's like, and now he took it to a place where he can't take it back. Anyway, whatever. I'm team me and you guys, you know? But anyway, let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Now I am going to go watch this stream myself while I take my kids to the pool. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Bye-bye.